But I think for any injured musician, it is critical to recognize that overcoming an injury means more than just returning back to full performance capacity. But overcoming your injury is simply a decision to capitalize on it in some way, to get something for your pain, to work to be able to look back on it and say, I'm grateful for what came of this trial. Okay, now that I've spent some time on the soapbox, here are 5 books that have helped me overcome my injury. I share this on a podcast about injury prevention and recovery because I believe in order to make this experience worth it and meaningful, you have to decide what your anchor is going to be. If they are not able to honor the authentic communication from their bodies in those settings where they feel that kind of external expectation, they're gonna keep injuring themselves. But this is where I will remind you that the greatest injury recovery tool that you have at your disposal is what's in between your ears. Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. Today, I thought I would put some tools in your hands that have proved to be extremely helpful for me in developing as a human being, mentally and physically, as I have sought to recover through my injury. And make sure you listen to the end because I will be giving you a free gift as a thank you for tuning into the show today. And yes, the title of this episode is 5 books that have helped me overcome my injury. And you may be thinking, okay, Clark, but you haven't fully recovered yet, right? I'm like, yeah, of course I haven't. But I think for any injured musician, it is critical to recognize that overcoming an injury means more than just returning back to full performance capacity. Because here's the thing, certain aspects of your recovery are just going to be out of your control, like how fast your body actually recovers or how your schedule lines up with your doctor's schedule and things like that. And I know that specifically can be hugely frustrating, especially when you're on your own timeline. But overcoming your injury is simply a decision to capitalize on it in some way, to get something for your pain, to work to be able to look back on it and say, I'm grateful for what came of this trial. Okay, now that I've spent some time on the soapbox, here are 5 books that have helped me overcome my injury. The first one is High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one because I've already covered it in our first research and development episode of this season. But if you haven't seen the episode, here's a quick rundown of the book. Brendon is the founder of the High Performance Institute and is the literal personal coach of several billionaires. His organization hired an elite team of researchers from the University of Pennsylvania and the University of California at Santa Barbara to analyze the habits of high performers across multiple domains to see if there was really any through lines, any common habits that they had. However, my favorite part was their qualifying definition of high performers. Their definition of a high performer is someone who achieves and sustains long-term success while also maintaining well-being and positive relationships. What does that teach you? You can work hard and succeed in a way that doesn't throw out the things in life that matter most to you and that are most important. They found 6 major habits in their research, but you got to read the book to find out what they are or watch that episode. Hey, real quick, sorry to interrupt the episode, but if you are a musician who's going through an injury right now and you feel like you could use some extra help or some extra coping strategies to help you get through this really sucky, difficult experience, head to musicianunchained.com/let's hang to see if a coaching relationship would be right for you at this time in your recovery. Okay, enjoy the rest of the episode. The second book I recommend is The Power of One More by Ed Mylett. Ed is someone I've quoted on Trust the Process many, many times, and I can't even begin to describe the impact this man has had on me. He's a multimillionaire, but honestly, that part has never really mattered that much to me. I never really cared about money. His primary focus on his show is to help people become who they wish to become. He had a phrase, outlast the temporary, that got me through the darkest time in my life. And the title of the book, The Power of One More, says it all. He goes into mental and physical tactics and strategies to help us keep going and to not give up by taking it one day, one step at a time. I cannot recommend this book enough. It's so good I listened to it 2 times in a row, actually. Book number 3 is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm pretty sure this one has already infiltrated the music education world fairly well, at least I hope so. And I also listened to this one 2 times in a row because the strategies and the principles in this book are so good. He talks about how great things are accomplished one step at a time. He gets into the granular, talking about 2-minute versions of a goal, as well as how to deal with the latency of the results that you are looking for when you're really putting in the work. This book is on the list because it helped me develop some habits that I use to this day to keep myself mentally sharp as I go through the frustrations of life and of injury recovery, as well as eliminate the habits that are not aligned with the identity I'm trying to embody. Book number 4 is Hidden Potential by Adam Grant. Hey, sorry to interrupt the episode yet again, but I wanted to tell you that if you are also a music educator of any kind and you feel like this is a conversation that needs to be had for your program, please reach out to me at clark@musicianunchained.com and we can talk about how we can collaborate together to bring these topics, to bring these strategies to your program to help your students stay as healthy and as happy as they can while pursuing their passion. Keep on keeping on and continue watching the episode. Book number 4 is Hidden Potential by Adam Grant. This one is on the list because it helped me realize that I have other passions and other talents that I can invest in while I'm not able to perform on trumpet the way that I want to. Not only that, but a lot of the principles in this book I believe hold the key. Not only that, but a lot of the principles in this book I believe hold the key to developing a mindset that will play a huge role in healthy musical progression. But the real gold in this book is in the stories he tells. He tells the story of Evelyn Glennie, the deaf percussionist who helped students learn how to play. He also tells the story of Jose Hernandez, the first Hispanic astronaut who persevered for over a decade to realize his dream of going to space. That story was particularly impactful to me as I read this book after I had been dealing with my recovery for almost 2 years at that point. And lastly, book 5 is a little bit different because it's actually a lot of books, and these books make up my scriptures. Longtime listeners of the show know that I have shared my faith here, and it is not my intent to use my platform to preach to all of you. But I honestly can say that my faith in the Word of God, which I believe to be the scriptural canon found in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, including the Bible, the Book of Mormon, Doctrine and Covenants, and Pearl of Great Price, have been my anchor throughout this entire ordeal. My Heavenly Father didn't take away my injury, nor did He speed up my recovery, but He has helped me grow immensely through this experience. I have relied on my scriptures literally every day of my life to help me feel close to heaven and provide guidance on how to move forward. I share this on a podcast about injury prevention and recovery because I believe in order to make this experience worth it and meaningful, you have to decide what your anchor is going to be. Whether that's God, the universe, a general higher power, or even your own intuition, I implore you to secure yourself to that foundation so that all the other mental skills I teach and in coaching sessions have something to go off of and build off of. Okay, last interruption, I promise you. Before we get to the rest of the episode, I just wanted to let you know that if you're a musician going through an injury and you need a community to help you get through it, if you need a sense of support, some people you can ask questions to, just gain pick me up whenever you need it. The Musician Unchained support group, formerly known as the Trust the Process Podcast Injured Musician Support Group on Facebook. The link is in the description below for you to join. You don't have to go through this alone. Keep on keeping on and enjoy the rest of the episode. So there you have it, guys. 5 books that have helped me overcome my injury. Now, you may also be asking, Clark, none of these were written by musicians or had anything to do with musician injury or recovery. To which I would say, you're right. But this is where I will remind you that the greatest injury recovery tool that you have at your disposal is what's in between your ears. As I have worked on my own physical recovery, I have put just as much effort into, if not more effort into growing mentally and spiritually, because those things are 100% within my control, while the physical side is maybe 80 to 85% in my control or less. I also would remind you of a quote that I've shared on this show before, one from my dear mentor and former guest of the show, Dr. Ryan Nielsen, who said that, quote, if to whatever extent they, and in this case he was talking about trumpet students, but it applies everywhere, if they are not able to honor the authentic communication from their bodies in those settings where they feel that kind of external expectation, they're gonna keep injuring themselves, even if the physical tools for their healing are in place and helpful and are working. The research is showing that there are psychological and cultural precursors to injury. And if we don't address them, then the rate of injuries, as it is shown in the past, will not change. Now that I've spent time on yet a second soapbox for the day, I know I promised you a free gift at the end of this episode if you got this far. So here it is. I've put together a PDF of 3 exercises that I take my one-on-one coaching clients through when I am coaching them through the mental side of their recovery. I put it in the show notes and in the description below, so click there and grab it if you are going through an injury. And guys, I hope you can tell my passion and my love for you and your injury recovery journeys and the potential that those journeys have. And so Just keep on keeping on, guys. I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email, join the email list, do all those podcasty things like and subscribe. But keep on keeping on. That's most important. And we'll see you next time. Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode of Trust the Process, the official podcast of Musician Unchained, the newest coaching program dedicated to helping musicians navigate and overcome injury. But before you go, I have a few quick ways you can stay connected and support our growing community. First of all, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a text with the link below and share your thoughts, questions, or just say hi. You can also check the show out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. If you found value in today's episode, consider making a donation to support our mission of empowering musicians worldwide. Every contribution helps us create more content and resources for you. So visit link number 2 below to support the mission. If you decide to donate, I'll send you my newest resource, the Injured Musician Toolkit, which is an ebook designed to give you tools to help you get through your injury. Subscribe to our newsletter to get exclusive insights, tips, sneak previews of episodes, and announcements straight to your inbox. Act now and I will send you a free gift. So sign up at www.musicianunchained.com/newsletter. And if you or someone you know would like to go deeper with me in the topics of injury and mindset, head over back to musicianunchained.com and check out the Let's Hang tab. As always, I want to thank Daniel Baldwin, my audio engineer, and my sister Dana Lovell for her help with the promotional materials. There is no podcast without them. But before I go, I want to tell you how much I deeply appreciate your time and support. You are not alone on this journey. There are musicians and educators out there who need this resource, and we need to get it to them. Together, we are breaking the chain of old habits and thought patterns that don't serve us anymore, and unchaining the potential within ourselves to face each challenge with strength and resilience. So, as I always say, keep on keeping on, and keep trusting the process. Until next time.